Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us on Kings and Queens of Porn. Tonight I have Goddess Anna, and you're still with me, right, Anna?
I am.
And of course, my co-host Alexa Gray.
Hey, everybody, how's it going tonight?
And I know y'all miss us because, like, last week I ended up not even doing a show because it was my birthday a couple weeks ago, so the kids showed up and took me out again, so it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool, a little family thing. So, how's everybody been doing this week?
I've been fantastic. It's been a great week. Always busy. Always busy.
Busy. Okay. Anna, are you from the Carolinas?
I am not.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was getting this thing that you were from, like, South Carolina and from, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then I saw Florida, so I was like, wait a minute, I'm confused.
I'm a sunny Florida girl.
Gotcha, okay. So,
I'm a little bit jealous right now because I'm in the rain here in BC, Canada, so Florida sounds really good to me right about now. Did you say rain? Rain. It's bloody rain. It's freaking cold.
Alexa, where you're at, it must be like freezing.
It's actually not too bad. I mean, it's cold. It's cold, but it's still in the positive. We haven't hit any negative degrees yet, so we're still good. But it's raining, and it's BC. We're in the rain forest up here, so it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but the winter time isn't Florida by any stretch. Let me say. So me telling you it was like almost 90 today probably doesn't, rub it in a little. Yeah, I'm going to curl up in a fetal position and cry now. Anna, thank you for that. I'm just going to, as I'm sitting here in my woolly sweater and my feisty slippers and, sitting by a fireplace. Yeah, no, that's fine. You just keep rubbing it in over there. That's fine. That pulls on my heartstrings, too, because, that whole fireplace thing, there's nothing better than just sitting in front of the fireplace with the wood in there and it crackling. See, you get to actually enjoy your Christmas. We still have 90 degrees at Christmas.
Yeah, it's not the same.
We're building snowmen and you're building sandcastles. I understand. I get it.
Right, exactly, because, here it's just as bad. Well, no, I think Anna has hotter weather than here. Christmas around here is usually I don't know, maybe 80, 75, but that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I do miss up north for the snow. Maybe not the blizzards they've been having up north, but I do miss up north for some snow at Christmas. I just like that feeling.
Oh, see, I have this thing where it can snow only late on Christmas Eve and then be snowy for Christmas Day and then have to melt by Boxing Day. I'm I like Christmas snow for 2 days.
Okay.
I'm originally from Michigan, so I do know snow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, you do then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely does. All right, so Anna, I want to ask you, how did you get started into the adult film industry?
Ooh, my husband suckered me into it.
For real?
Oh, really? I'm intrigued already. Tell me more.
Right.
It was all his idea. I think, so, I don't know how it ever got brought up, originally. Maybe he asked me if I'd ever heard of, such and such, or this or that, and I'm like, no, and it probably took him a good 6 to 8 months to convince me to take a single picture. I used to be I hated my picture being taken. I was a frumpy old mom, and even back when my kids were little, you just didn't find me in pictures because I hated having my pictures taken. I hated my smile. I hated everything. And here he's trying to convince me, let's just take a picture. And I'm like, no, you're asking the one that hates pictures. I hate having the self-confidence just was never ever there. I never thought of myself as that person someone would look at and go, oh, damn. Never thought of that. And so he had to really, really convince me. And then we took some pictures, and I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. and then
and then we just kind of like, I don't know, he convinced me, we took a leap, and, you know, I put myself out there, and people start emailing you, and you start getting comments and compliments, and it really, really changed who I am. I was no longer afraid of the camera anymore, and it just really, it's a boost of confidence. And when you get out there and you see that when I say that I never thought of myself as a person someone would look at and go, damn, it's because I wasn't like that, like skinny mini, huge, gigantic, busted woman. Like, I think of, in my head, I had like this stereotype, and it just wasn't me.
Stereotypical porn star.
Yeah, right. It wasn't me. And then when you get out there and you realize, wait a minute, there are men and women that like people of all shapes, all sizes, all backgrounds, all, from tattooed to not tattooed to skinny to bodybuilding to really big and fluffy. I mean, they're all
big and fluffy. I love how you said that. I love it.
I like big and fluffy.
I like big and fluffy.
I like them all. So, I'm not so keen on, the bodybuilder thing is not for me. But
yeah, me either.
It is for some people, and that's okay.
Right.
It's great. It's all good.
Wow.
Yeah, it definitely is an eye-opener, too, when you get into the industry and you start really looking around, because, again, we kind of have this stereotypical idea of what it is that you should look like if you're going to be considered a quote-unquote porn star. You have to look a certain way, and, yeah, you get out there and you're like, oh, wait, no, hold on half a second. Half these people don't even, over half of them don't fit that mold of, but you're filling a niche, or you're filling a fantasy that somebody has out there, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And the fetishes.
After your husband started,
don't forget those.
After your husband started taking the pictures and everything, you went forward with the porn. So how long have you been in the industry?
Oh, geez. How long have we been at this? Oh, my gosh. So I guess 4 or 5 years ago, I started it, and then I stopped. I only did it for 6 months or so. Only did just still images, really, and then pulled back because I was a high school teacher, and I went, I don't need any of my students or their parents finding this and ever catching me out there. And so we kind of pulled it, and then I chose to get out of the teaching industry, and at that time I said, you know what, I kind of miss when we did those pictures and stuff. And so we started with the pictures again, and then I think my first, and that was probably 1.5 years ago, that we kind of made that cross back over, back into it, kind of reinvented myself, so to speak. And it's probably about 1 year ago that Score contacted me. It took me a little bit to really work up to crossing over from just images and doing my own amateur videos to going, oh, well, hey, wait a minute, maybe we'll cross over and get into something a little more.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's much more exposure. Yes, there's definitely more exposure when you're going to shoot for companies, right? So it puts you on the map, and it gets your name out there a whole lot quicker.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. And then, and then we shot for someone else, and it just kind of all snowballs, so to speak.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome, though. And how are you enjoying it now?
Slowing down a little bit right now, just because life was a little bit busy. I imagine we'll probably start picking back up again as things start calming down. I started a new career with a regular job,
vanilla job, yeah,
regular vanilla job. And so we kind of slowed down a little bit, and probably start picking back up here probably soon. We've got some things in the works over the next month or so, and probably then after Christmas we'll probably pick right back up again in the new year. So
excellent. Now, will you be at AVN this year?
I don't know. I have never been. We did just a smaller FetCon is in Florida. We did that. And so we've been looking at the possibilities of being at AVN. So
I highly recommend it.
I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Yeah, no, it's a great venue. Like I went my very first year that I even was considering looking into the industry at all. I kind of went, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was too shaky to go inside. I had my little bag, I was able to walk in, and my best friend didn't have a way to get in. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going in there by myself. There's no way in hell. I was scared to death. And so I basically stood like a, deer in the headlights in the lobby area of the Hard Rock Cafe, watching people, beautiful people walking by, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't fit in there. And then I went last year, and I got to go out the floor and meet people and just mingle in. I didn't get to go as much as I wanted to, but this year I'm going to be there every single day. And there's so many parties and so many events to go to, and so much networking that can be done. It is an amazing event. It's really good. So I highly recommend going. But if you're going to do it, start looking at the hotels now, because I'm telling you, they're booking up and they're like getting expensive. So look now before it's
crazy.
Too late.
That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, people plan this way ahead. You got to remember though, Vegas that time of year is stupid busy because they have a huge concrete convention, a huge furniture convention, and a huge, well, obviously AVN is huge. So it is a very busy time.
Coincidentally, last year, we had some friends invite us to Vegas, and they said, yeah, we've got this room, coming out, and it was the last couple days of AVN, and so we weren't there for that, but that was like finishing up as we were there, and well, we ended up getting married in Vegas by Elvis, so
wow, look at you go.
It's like the weekend after AVN. It was kind of crazy, but anyway,
that is crazy.
Yeah,
but awesome.
Right. So if you ever want to go to Vegas and get married by Elvis, I highly recommend.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that one, but it sounds great. That sounds good times. It sounds good times. I know lots of people do it. I don't think you can get me drunk enough to get married in Vegas.
It was so funny because it was like, oh, we should go. Yeah, let's go. Hey, well, we're there. Should we get married? Oh, sure, why not? And as we're walking up, the courthouse, they're all like out there, and you're like, well, sure, why not? Let's let Elvis do it. I mean, we're doing it in Vegas. We might as well do it like Vegas style, right?
Elvis, yeah, you got to do it Vegas style. Absolutely, yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, they only knew what they were shooting.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Like,
Yep.
So you're liking the industry. So, I mean, you have pretty much liked the so far. Have you had, like, a lot of fans that were going to... Because you're on a website, too, right?
I am.
And, did you have any weird requests from your fans?
Some of the strangest requests.
Oh, you've got to share.
I have... So, I think one of my very first requests, someone asked me if I could do a custom video where, I had a bowling ball stuck to my big toe.
What?
And I'm like, really? Bowling ball? And the funny thing is, I just moved into this house, and the previous tenants had left this bowling ball. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do this. I'll do it with the bowling. Like, I'm thinking I could do this, and I think the person was afraid because I called it out, and I was like, heck yeah, I'll do it with the with the bowling ball, and it took a long time. I didn't hear back from him for a long time. But finally ended up contacting me, and we shot a video of the bowling ball. Lots of people request things, everything from, the balloon fetishes to, a lot of people request things. Recently I had someone request things for tiny feet. So I've recently shot, this week, we shot a video for someone that just wanted me to make fun of their tiny feet, and I had to go buy a pair of kids' shoes so that I could be like, oh, look, your shoes, this is how tiny your feet are, oh, how funny, and oh, you should come take a bubble bath with me, your feet won't take up much room.
Oh, wow.
Requests, let's see, I had a request we did a custom video for a person that wanted me to pretend that my car wouldn't start, and I had to sit there and wear one flip-flop and one stiletto because that's all I could find in my car. And I had to walk because I couldn't get a hold of anybody. Let's see what else.
Interesting. See, I don't get these weird ones. Why don't I get these cool ones?
I've had some real strange ones, of course, doing the shows. So that's why it's like I always ask everybody, like, okay, because some
What's
of them.
What's the strangest one you've heard?
I don't get nothing like that. So what's your scalp? What you heard?
I mean, I had gotten like 2 or 3 that have stuck in my head, and they were probably over a year ago that I did the interviews. One, this girl, she said she had a guy, and he made her go buy a gummy bear, but like the big ones. Have you ever seen like the big ones? They sell like one gummy bear, and told her that she had to tie it like to cover its eyes. She had to put lipstick on, and she had to stab it like a whole bunch of times.
Oh, no, poor gummy bear.
Right. And I was like, oh my God, the gummy bear. And I was
what
just
the hell did the gummy bear ever do to him?
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's got a fetish for gummy bears, but he wants them dead. Like, he just, so I was cracking up.
Calling the police on that one. I'll be like, so this person
right.
wants me to stab a gummy bear?
And then another
I thought
one.
you were going to say you had to have sex with a gummy bear. At least that would be kind of kinky. I'd be like, all right, I get that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because he didn't even ask her to do, just to put lipstick on, and then, I think she had to eat them. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, I don't know. But it wasn't nothing like, but to me that's still not, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're going to stab it a bunch of times and then eat him. He's a gummy bear, okay? You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't see the whole, like, that one really stuck in my head because I just couldn't believe somebody would call for that. Then another one was, one of the girls, she told me that this guy had a fetish for animals and wanted to see her play nasty with her dog.
Oh.
And I was like...
solicited for that.
Ugh.
I did not, but I had someone solicit me and ask me if he could pay me to go and spend the night at like a bestiality, like bed and breakfast, where I forget stupid amount of money, which we didn't do, and I thought, oh my God. And then I found out the person worked near me, and now every time we go anywhere near there, I'm like,
the dog.
That weird guy is like there. I'm like, creeps me out. First, I thought that the guy was just joking.
Right.
And then when they send you a link, you're like, oh my. Like, yeah.
I did not know there was such thing.
Neither did I. That's why we thought it was completely fake.
No, there are men. Trust me, ladies. There are men that are into that shit. And I remember I was divorced for a year. And I just, my daughter's like, Ma, you got to get out there and start talking to people. So where do I go to start talking to people? On the internet. And I met this guy, I'm like, oh, wow. He matter of fact, he used to manage, like, alternative bands. So I was like, oh, it's right up my alley with music and everything, And he was divorced. He had a son, 2 boys. He also, like, helped out with baseball coaching. I'm like, oh, wow. It just sounded too good to be true. And then, like, after talking to him for a while, thank God it never got to past that. Because he had that animal fetish, okay? And he used to, he said, well, at first he liked to cross-dress. And I was a little bit kind of like scared, because I like men, you know what I mean? My man has got to be a man, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I could handle my man walking around in my clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think I could handle it. But my daughter, she's all, Ma, give the guy a break. Everybody has their own, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I can't. But I tried. I did some research on it, and I did find that some men do have a fetish for that. They don't go outside their house dressed as a female, but either there was some kind of crazy psychological childhood thing that's why they do the woman's clothes or whatever. So I said, okay, I'll keep talking to him. But I remind you now, I still haven't gone out with him or anything like that. We just kept talking. Once the dog video came, and he said, I want to know if you watch porn, and I said, yeah, and we talked, and then he said, well, I wanted to know what you would think of this. And he sent me, like you said, the video, and it was females with dogs, like literally, yeah. And I was just like, nah.
I'm going to go with a hard no on that one, and thanks for coming over.
Right.
Never contact me again.
And then he told me, like, he let his dog lick his dick all the time, and I'm just like,
ugh.
Yeah, this is too...
Your poor dog.
Yeah,
Your poor
exactly.
dog.
I'm like, it's like he molested the dog.
That's nasty.
Yeah, no.
Nasty.
So that just
kind of a weird request because I do put, I do put fetish stuff out on my site. I do balloon stuff to feet stuff to, I do a little bit of BDSM stuff. I do try to cater to some of the fetishes, but not, I don't cross the legal line usually.
Yeah, like I can't see the whole dog thing. I can't see it. Like, I just can't. I don't even know why this woman would want to fuck a dog. Like, what the hell? Like, that's just, come here,
that's
biscuit.
Wrong. That's wrong on every level. Wrong on it. I don't mind a beast, but he better just be male and he's got a really big dick. That to me is a good beast to be banging. I'm good with that. Now keep the other ones away from me.
Yeah.
You got 4 legs, go away.
Like,
yeah,
who are these animals? Like, no, I can't handle it.
Well, there's some seriously twisted things out there. I shouldn't say twisted. Everybody's got their own thing, and I don't want to judge. But we do want who have the, it's like, I don't want to call it teddy bear fetish, but it's like the stuffed animal thing, where they actually dress up as stuffed animals, or like animal creatures.
Yeah,
and then there's the clown fetishes. Yeah, the furries, that's it. And then there's the clown fetishes and all that kind of stuff.
All right, wait a minute. Y'all going too fast for me. What is fill me in. What is the furry? Yeah.
Well, they're like mascots. Think of a mascot.
Okay.
And so they dress up basically in mascot costumes, and that gets them all going. And they all like play with each other with their little mascot costumes.
Yeah,
so kind of like role play, but with costumes on.
They're like, they look like teddy bears or bunny rabbits or
like Elmo,
kitty cats or any kind of animal.
Furry animal.
Yeah, like a furry animal. So think of all the costumes. Think of like Big Bird and Snuffleupagus. And
that's what I just said. Elmo. Like, I could not picture Elmo screwing. Like, no.
I know, right? You think it's Bugs Bunny. You're like, I don't know about this whole thing, but where are you putting that carrot? What's up, Doc? I don't know, man. It doesn't do it for me personally. I'm pretty simple. I stick to the regular things. Like, I have a thing with lingerie. I'm going to stick with that. It seems pretty safe to me. I'm just going to go with it. Yeah, I'm lame. I am so boring. I'm so vanilla when it comes to this. I'm porn, but I'm vanilla. Like, I was like, no, I'm cute.
I'm not as vanilla. I'm not as vanilla. I can get a little on the wild side. I've been BDSM for a little while, and
do you like it?
I don't mind that though. Like, for me, that's normal kink, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a normal thing.
Like, I've tied girls up to. Yeah, well, exactly. I've had girls to stand there in crosses and beat the hell out of them, and I've done a couple videos now where, I've been to 7. Then I did one with Dark Side Fetish and Aston Martin where I was popping, which was hot as hell, and I'm definitely doing that again. But that's normal kink to me though. Like, that's normal stuff. Yeah, tied to a bed and that kind of stuff. That's fun. But dress me up in a furry costume or in an adult diaper or something, I'm good. I'm alright. I'm good.
I really don't. I don't understand the adult diaper thing. Again,
yeah, adult baby thing.
Not going to yuck on anyone else's yum. It's just not. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Back when I was canning, I had a lot of people that would come onto my site and ask me for balloons because I guess they knew that I would be balloons, and that was one that I didn't understand, but I did it because it was popular.
Now, what's with the balloons? Because I did hear one story of that one time. One of the other girls, she had to pop every balloon with her tits.
Oh, with her tits? Wow. I think the balloons, mostly what I hear is they like the building up of blowing them up, and then the popping is typically more so on like the release and the it's like they're coming, and it's like that epitome, that end is there or whatever, and
it's like the foreplay and the orgasm.
Yeah, it's like the foreplay and the orgasm, and it's like the release at the end. That
So
like,
the foreplay is blowing up the balloon.
Yeah, or playing with them, or rubbing them, or whatever. And
God, I have such a love for balloons. This just changes it all.
You say that again?
I have a love for balloons, and when I heard that story, it just changed it. Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that, I mean, I think it's a bad thing, it's just, I love balloons. Like, I'm not a flower person, I love balloons. I hate flowers. So when she ever told me that, I was just like, and she said the hotel room was literally filled with balloons, like, everywhere. You couldn't walk.
No, that should be so much fun.
That's what I'm thinking, it could be fun, but I mean, she said she was sore at the end of it all, but I'm saying, like, I'm trying to figure out how y'all pop them, like, with your boobs and your... Like, that would have to hurt if it pops on your something.
Of Sam at
you know, when so I kind of cheated sometimes. I would have, like, a clear, like, tack pin in my hand that no one could see, especially when I was camming, when I'd have to do it a lot. You get overwhelmed. I don't want to say overwhelmed. You just get tired. It makes it harder and harder to like act surprised. And I had, I think 36-inch balloon that I blew up one time. Oh, it took me forever, but I bought these 36-inch balloons, and it just. They loved it. I had people tipping, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
People are tipping me to blow.
And you're blowing it up?
Yes. Yep.
And 36-inch balloon, I think I'd be passing out for freaking lack of oxygen.
I would take a break and, like, hold it and, like, play with it, because it does. You're just, like...
out of breath.
Yeah, then you start getting, like, littler and littler breaths, and you're like, all right, this is going to take even longer. And then once you buy what's supposed to be a 36-inch balloon, and then you're blowing it up, and you're like, this is way bigger than 36-inch balloons. So, yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to get one of those balloon blower uppers, and it looks like you're stroking the cock as you're blowing up the balloon. That would probably work better.
Oh,
you have to pump it, right? You have to pump it up. You'll be like, yeah, I'm going to pump it. That's what I would cheat. I wish I were not a cheater.
Now you're mixing things.
Yeah. I guess I can't blow. I mean, I can blow. Don't get me wrong. Not like that. Not like that. No way.
So what about popping them now?
What about popping them?
Yeah, do you just pop them? Like, just pop them or let them...
You blow them up so big till they pop.
Yeah, you blow them up so big until they pop. Or I did do a video one time where I was stomping on them. So I had my heels on and I was stomping on them and, you know, like building up of, oh, we're going to pop this one. Oh, here we go. You know, we're going to get it. And I don't know, guys like to love it.
I just don't get it. And it just scares me.
If they're tipping and they're paying.
That's right. Don't tip their paying. I'm going to keep on blowing them up. I'm going to keep on popping.
Exactly. I mean, hell, it's pretty easy doing that kind of stuff. I mean, you have to do a whole lot more sometimes for a whole lot less. So I'm good with one something. I'm like, okay.
That's true. Those are like, and it seems that almost all of my customs are almost all non-nude, non-sexual type things. Like when they're asking you to, like the one that we shot this week for the custom, which was just making fun of the person's feet. They didn't want to see me nude. They wanted me to be in like bra and panties, and like I would have to be like in a dress and take the dress off, so it's just down to my bra and panties. But then just making fun of their feet as if I was having a conversation there with them. And the one other person wanted me to have my car stuck. You know, the person I had. Someone that wanted me to pretend that my shoes were glued to my feet. I'm like, oh, it's all
interesting. You get some pretty interesting ones. I'm impressed.
I think
I'm normal. See, I get the normal ones. Like I love my guys who have like tiny fetishes and stuff. Like I like that kind of shit. It's like yeah. I like those ones. It's like take a picture of you stuffing your panties inside you. I'm like, okay. I want to see the stuff in your mouth. I'm like, okay.
Like, and they want you to stuff those panties.
Well, yeah, or like I love the ones that one of my favorite is one. He's like my number one fan. Love him to death. I'd be like, oh, we'll do a Skype show, and I can play with myself, and I come several times, right? But then he wants me to wear my panties, my soaking wet panties, all day long.
He wants to wear them after.
Afterwards, yeah, so they're wet, and he knows that. And he's like, 3 hours a day, take a picture, like just when you're in the bathroom, whatever, take a picture for me so I can see that you're wearing them all day, and I do. And for me, it's the turn on. It's hot. Like I love the fact that he gets off on the fact that I'm wearing my wet panties all day. Like I'm like, okay, sure, it's like, hey, that.
Now,
that
does he pay you for that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, even like, I don't know how it is nowadays because I've never really checked it out. But my half sister used to do. Remember, I was telling you she used to do the phone thing. Okay,
yeah.
And she used to get some of those weird fetish customers. And I went and spent the weekend in Pennsylvania with my sister one night, and my ex-husband slept in the other room, and he's like, "Go ahead, go with your sister," So I went in there. And the phone calls, like, I was just dying. Like you said, Alexa, where he wanted you to, play with yourself and then come in your panties and wear them all day. They used to send her money to send them a pair of panties. Or a pair of high-heel shoes.
They'll ask for those, too.
Yeah.
After a while, they'll ask for that, too. But, I mean, things for me, like that for me, it's amazing because it's not just a turn on for them, it's also a turn on for me. And it gets me going too, and I enjoy doing that part. So I'm like, well, who doesn't like coming several times? And then like I'm so good with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just I like that kind of stuff. I don't usually get anything that's too out of the ordinary, which is probably good because I was more than likely just a pass. Thanks. So
now see, one guy, it was kind of like Anna had said about how he wanted her to, I forgot what it was, but the last guy that you were just talking about with the little feet, like, picking on him. Well, she did have one customer that used to blow, and she used to tell me she noticed like a lot of her customers, they were either like, young guys that hadn't really been around too much, or it was like a lot of like the ones that had money that couldn't put themselves out there, And this guy used to he wanted to be blackmailed. And he wanted his wife to hear it. So, like, my sister would be like, Kelly, what am I supposed... Like, this is crazy. What if this lady tries to get a hold of me thinking, you know what I mean? But she went along, and the dude would actually smash things in his house. Like, she could hear him smashing things because she was blackmailing him, you know what I mean? And didn't want his wife to know. And then he would... I mean, he was psychotic, I think, honestly, because he always... And it was crazy, because he paid her for that.
I'll blackmail somebody, Philly Boozer. How much money? I'll try to tell anybody you damn well want.
She used to bank
have you ever had a wife contact you?
No.
I had the guy that that wanted me to have my shoes glued to my feet, and the same person or the same video with the car starting, and I had to wear the flip-flop with the shoe or whatever.
Yep.
I all of a sudden, so occasionally, I'll have a fan that's just a really good fan that's, spoiled me a lot, and I have a Google number that I will occasionally, and I'm talking, maybe I've only given it out 4 or 5 times that I've allowed them to call me, talk to me. Of course, you get compensation when they call you, but I had a phone call one evening, and it was the wife of that person. You're fucking my husband. And I'm like,
oh shit. Oh, shit.
I don't even know where your husband resides. I don't even.
Oh, my God.
I would just simply say there, go, honey, please understand that this is my job, and this is my website. Feel free to look it up, and I have never met your husband in person, nor do I ever really want to.
Well, that's what I told her. I said, I don't know who your husband, like I don't even know his real name, but I said, it's kind of mean, and I'm like, maybe if you put out a little more, you wouldn't be looking at my website.
Wow. Take care of him, and I won't have to.
But at the point that she wasn't believing me, I'm like, sweetie, I've never met your husband. I have no idea, who he is.
Wow.
That is crazy.
I haven't had a wife contact me like that, I have had a couple of them come into my DMs, though, and basically say, oh, my husband is a huge fan of your work. He showed me your pictures, and, like, it was all positive. You know, women going, you know, I really appreciate the fact that, you know, he's looking at women, you know, like you, rather than, I guess, the typical porn star is what they, you know, want to call it, because it made her feel better about herself, knowing that he genuinely liked a full or figured woman or whatever, like, or, you know, I love the fact that you have the confidence to put yourself out there this way, you know, yada, yada, yada. Like, I've always gotten positive feedback, thank God, so far. But, yeah, no, I've never had anybody.
I've had lots of women, you know, reach out, and, you know, you kind of, you're not sure if they're really women or if they're not really women.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had lots of, you know, women, in essence, still reach out. And it is, you tell them that are either looking to get into it, or how do you get started, or does this really help you? And generally speaking, you get a positive response. She was the only negative. Yeah. That's the only negative.
Well, hopefully you don't get any more of those ones.
Now, do y'all have lady customers?
Yeah, I have a few.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, I'm fully bi, so I'm good with the ladies too. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, let's do that for sure. But yeah, it's I find it flattering. I mean, don't get me wrong. Any fan that says anything positive, it's wonderful and it's flattering. But it's different coming from a woman, because you're, instead of being in a sense of being competitive with, they're looking at you going, you know, I admire you and I think you're beautiful, and you know, I'm like, oh wow, thanks.
Yeah,
that just made me smile.
Right, because it's a female, and usually females are full of hate, so that's kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think it's great. I love it.
I love them both.
That's
love them
so
both.
wow.
Much like Alexa, I'm also fully bi, and so it's nice when you get to shoot with someone else that actually really is fully bi.
Yes.
Because
right? Girls who really are into girls are just into it for the camera. You can tell the difference.
Yes.
And so I know, I'm like, are you really into it? And there's nothing worse than that, though, too, right? You're like, how much are you really into this? Because I can do more for you than you have to do on me. I'm good with that. But let's know where your comfort levels are.
I just need to know where it's okay.
Yeah, like, some girls are like, okay, well, I'm okay with girl on girl, but it's not something I do all the time. I'm like, okay, so do you like going down on a girl, or do you like her going down on you? She's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, we better figure this out real quick, because the camera's about to turn on, and we need to get this rolling, you know? So it's like, yeah, when the girls are actually into each other, I'm like, thank you. And plus, they know what they're doing then, and it just makes it a whole lot hotter.
Yeah, because if a girl doesn't know what she's doing, you're going to have to teach her real quick.
Well, really, the thing is at the end of the day, as long as it looks good on camera, you have to fake it if you need to, right? So,
fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly. Fake it till you make it. You know, it's not something that I tend to do. I'm one of these easy comers, I guess. So, you know, it doesn't go fake on camera. Normally for me, I'm so into it. I'm like, woohoo! I'm already halfway done before we even get started. It's like,
and I wish I were that way. I didn't have my first orgasm until I was like 36, 37.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Well, and don't feel bad. My mom, okay.
Please tell me you're making up for lost time.
Oh yeah.
Tell me you're making up for lost time.
So how come you didn't have your first orgasm till that late in life?
Why?
Yeah.
I was convinced I couldn't.
Oh, really?
So part of that is I wouldn't say, I mean, I had for probably close to 15 years, I lived an extremely vanilla, like, never got out of missionary style.
Oh, shit!
Didn't usually last more than a minute, if that. There were times it was like, oh, insertion over. Oh, okay, yay, like, and just never explored. And somewhere around year 13 or 14 of marriage, I went, all right, there's got to be more to this. And I somehow convinced my...
Girl, I totally feel you.
We convinced, and I convinced my now ex-husband. We got into swinging, and that was at my catalyst, that was at my making. And totally opened up everything sexually, and it wasn't. We were swingers for probably 3.5 years, and then just in the process of life, and it had nothing to do with the swinging. We just kind of grew apart and realized one day that
just ain't
very amicable. We just we sat down and discussed it. And we parted, but my now husband was part of our marriage for the last 6 months, and he was the one that was like, "You've not had an orgasm? Oh, this is not okay." He pulled out the Hitachi and like, "I'm going to make sure that you have an and 13 orgasms in one night." He's like, "Okay, have I convinced you can have an orgasm now?"
Right.
Holy hell.
And ever since then, the Hitachi, that's my favorite toy.
When you started you off with the big guns, man, you can't go back after that. There's no going back after that one.
Right. No going back after Hitachi.
I know it.
No.
That's
Yes,
crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what's so
Yeah,
crazy
stories like this.
is you think of you look at the industry, okay, and you look at the porn side, but then you look at sides like you've got Craigslist, and what was that other one that they finally killed? Backstage or Backpage or something. Yeah.
Backpage.
And yet you got people on there that are willing to do all these crazy fetish type of sex things for free. Okay?
That's dry.
They have the help wanted ad, like, hey, we want this is our fantasy and we want to fulfill it. Like, you've got to be crazy. If you think, I'm going to go meet somebody, I don't know, for some fantasy I have. What if, no, that's too dangerous.
It's depending on what it is, it can be very dangerous, right? But I mean, for those people who are so worried about what people think of them, or they have high profile lives or whatever, they don't know where else to go for something like that. They don't know that there's sites and safe ways and avenues to go through it. I mean, if you have fetishes, BDSM fetishes, there's clubs and groups that you can get part of in order to do it in a safe manner, where you learn to play safely, where people understand and know what they're doing, right? But when you just have, like, you're sitting home watching porn beating off going, oh my God, I just want to fulfill this and make this happen, you don't know where else to go. So you just kind of hit these places up, which again is very sketchy. But, there is places, there's safe places to go, and you just have to do a little bit of research and hit Google.
Yep, that's how we originally found stuff. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes, it's people. You have to, and you do risk too. I mean, and again, some people can't. If they're in high-profile jobs and stuff, I mean, to go to like a swingers club or something is a high risk for them, because, oh my God, what if somebody else is there that they know? What they have to understand is, it's one of those unspoken rules. It's what happens. It's like a Vegas thing. What happens is danger. If we know each other in our vanilla life, we don't ever say anything. We never speak of this. This is a secret, So, and people don't want it. I mean, we all have vanilla lives. We all have families. We all have people we don't want to know that we're out in certain things. I mean, there is an element of discretion to a degree when you're, quiet doing it that way. When you're online, like we are, kind of out there, and
a little bit more out there.
A little bit more out there. But I mean, even still, I personally try to keep it very much quiet. I live in a very small town. Everybody knows me in my vanilla world, and they don't.
Everybody knows you in your vanilla world. What's with the vanilla? Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah, vanilla. Like no porn rated, R rated. Yes, no extra stuff. Yes, like I'm not. Everyone thinks, because I have fans that say, "Oh my God, you must be so famous. Everybody in your hometown must know who you are, and you must get stopped all the time." I'm like, I still get surprised when I go to an event and people know who I am. In my hometown, everybody knows me, but not for this. I am foreign.
It's funny you say that. So I had this was way back when I very first got started. I wasn't Anna. I was known by a different stage name, and I went to, my husband and I had just moved to the area that we're in now. We went to a BDSM club that was just a coffee get together thing. It wasn't got a set. It was the middle of the week. middle, late afternoon, early evening, and this was just like a meet and greet type thing. And I'm going and introducing myself by my FetLife name, and we're walking in, and all of a sudden, someone from across the room hollers out my stage name, and I'm like, huh? I turn. He's like, oh my God, it's really you. Oh my gosh, I'm such a huge fan of yours. And he's like, I'm a member of your website. And I'm like, I felt like the world just crashed in on me, because I'm like, no, this is my real world. Like, I'm really
you're not allowed to make it too.
I'm just like, oh no. I'm like, please don't tell anybody who I am. I'm like, please.
Oh, so you run into somebody. That must be kind of interesting, though. Like, yeah, don't tell them.
Today it wouldn't be a big deal for me.
Right.
Today I'd be like, oh, hey, yeah, like, how are you? Today it wouldn't bother me. Back then, though, I was so quiet about it. I didn't want anyone to know anything about it. I was like,
more back then than see now. If somebody asked me that now, I would be mortified. I'd be like, I would freeze. I would be like, actually, the one thing that I did have is I had a guy, because I live in a very small area, and I had a guy, now, totally random, send me some emails and stuff, just inquiring about how to get in the industry and so on and so forth. I've had several men, do these things, and I'm like, listen, certain things that you have to do, and I'm not rude to them. I'm like, you got to do some research, figure out who you want to shoot for, but it's basically the criteria that you're going to have to fit into, and if you don't fit into it, you're going to have a much harder time getting into the industry. So anyways, we're going back and forth, and he says, well, I'm Canadian and whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, good luck with that, because in Canada there's even less of an industry and whatever. So we were going through some stuff, and I'm like, well, it would help more so for me to know whereabouts are you located. And he rates me his location, which is a 20-minute drive from where I live.
Oh, wow.
And I just about crapped my pants. I'm like, you have got to, like, I literally shopped there. Like, I'm like, I could walk in the mall and have this guy see me and go, oh my God, that's, like, I was freaking out. I'm like, okay, you are way too close for comfort. I am stopping now talking to you. I'm done talking to you. I'm like, freaking out.
Good luck.
I'm like, well, that was all the advice I could give you. You gotta go now. Bye-bye. I was like, I'm like, please never let me run into this man. Please never let me run into this man. Because that's all I need to be is like, like,
you'd be looking around every corner.
Somebody go, hey, Alexa. Like, shit, run away.
Yep.
Run away. Like, freaked me out. So I was like, no, I'm scared. I'm scared here.
Yes,
but people think that I live in like LA or whatever until they know that I'm Canadian. But Canada's a huge freaking country. Even if I say I'm in BC is a huge province. So the chances of you being 20 minutes away from me, pretty unlikely. And a little tricky. Yeah.
It's just too close for comfort. Oh,
far too close for comfort.
Yeah,
like I'm good with it when I go to like Vegas or something, and that I'm in ABM. But even still, like I don't know, I'm still under this impression that I'm just an anonymous person. Like people don't know who I am, and people see me and they're like, oh hey, I'm a big fan. I'm like, how do you even know who I am? Like I because I'm so small town, like I don't realize that people, yes, I might have 30-something thousand, 38,000 freaking followers, whatever it is that I'm at. I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, people don't know who I am. It hasn't quite sunken in yet. Still not there. Crazy. Not there.
Now, have you had any crazy calls or requests, like crazy people saying that, I don't know, not the wife calling, because that's, I mean, it's not funny, but it is funny. And then, like, what about people that get outrage or say it some? You know how you got crazy people out there? You don't know what to expect nowadays. So what if it was somebody that called and what do you call it? Like he wanted to degrade. You know what I'm saying? That fetish of being mean and whatever.
But the thing is you have to be giving out your number and stuff to do that. Like unless you're Skyping with them or something, they have no way of contacting you unless you hit their DMs, and then you just delete it anyways because they're just lunatics.
Because it's just lunatic. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just crazies. You know what I mean? So you gotta just like. That's what I'm saying, like the ones that, that kind of people. Because, I mean, they come in the music, too. They come in everything. Like, it's just those kind of, I'm not. It's late. I'm like, wait. Stop. It's late. Although in Canada, it's not.
There are people people that want that, and then some people are willing to do that. Like, I know, Anna, I mean, you say you do fetish stuff. Do you do humiliation or, degradation? Are you into doing that kind of stuff? Is that something that people come to you for?
So I've had it requested, like, just in video. It's much, much harder to play off in a video because you have to pretend that there's a person there and that they're interacting with you when they're not.
Right.
I've had some people ask me if for hire, will you do this? I've not crossed that line yet. I've not crossed over into any kind of escorting of any sort, at least not for me. It's strictly, paid and things that I do for my own website. So it's much harder to do.
Makes sense. And I'm sure you probably get a lot of offer or asking a lot of requests for, to meet and then that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I have actually. I mean, this last week we actually went out to dinner with a fan. It's someone that's local to me and someone that reached out on Twitter that has been very, very respectful and long time, been a member of mine almost since the beginning. But it's meeting both me and my husband. Like,
right, and he understands that.
Yes, and he also understands there's no sex involved. It's just, hey, let's go meet, have a drink, and you can get to know me. And he's been very polite. And, he knows that this is a business for me. He knows that, this is a business. I make, I do this for money. And so he still buys, he could probably at this point, because, we've become, friends, my husband, him and I, we've become friends, but he still pays to be a member of my site. He still pays and buys videos, and he still does all of that right to my website. So he still supports all of that.
Doing, right.
Nothing's changed,
Which is great. I mean, that just shows a respect
awesome.
that he does understand that it is a business for you. That just because you've allowed him the honor of becoming a little closer in your personal life doesn't mean that he doesn't still pay for what it is that you provide for him, right? Which is great. I think that's awesome. I wish there was more like that. I wish there was more like that.
Oh yeah.
There's all these other ones that are like, can you just send me nudes? I'm like,
oh yeah. Yeah, let me just send you pictures of me. All right, if I didn't ask for it, I don't want it.
Exactly.
I will ask you for it when I want to see it.
Yeah, the unsolicited dick pics. I love them.
I'm so sick of them, and I'm not even in your industry. Okay.
Oh man, for me, it's an immediate. If I see it, it's a block.
It's a delete. Like, don't try writing me again.
If that's the first thing that you send to me, or even you send me a hi and then send that, it's usually a block. It's usually a delete and block.
Yeah, it's a delete and block for me. And there was one guy, he sent it to me, and I'm like, damn, that is a really nice block. And he was hot too. And I'm like, that's when I actually replied to him. I'm like, if you had actually sent me a message first and then sent me this, I might not have had to block you. But since you did, as nice as you are, and the package is fabulous, it's going to be a hard block from me. But thanks and have a good day. Yeah, I was like, that was one of the first ones. I'm like, shit, man, like, you should really get in the industry because you're hot. Like, I don't know if you pulled that off the internet somewhere, but it was looking good.
I know.
And now I've heard too, they have said stories where they don't even send their own dicks. They're sending a picture of whatever. You know what I mean? So that is to question too. I've had pictures come the way they were jerking off, and I'm like, really? Like, come on now. Like, delete. Bye.
No, I just don't even do it. And when I first started in the industry, I thought, well, it's just rude, whatever. Now I'm like, block. I go to blocking frenzy. I even on my Instagram, I do. If you're following me and you have 5,000 people you're following, you have like 12 people that follow you and you have 0 posts, you're being blocked. Like,
you can tell a lot of the fake ones. A lot of the fake profiles. You have to be careful of stuff like that.
I block. I go on blocking frenzy. Right now, I'm shadow banned on Instagram, so anybody who does follow me, it comes up like there's only like, instead of a couple hundred, there's only like 20 of them. I'm like, wow, let's go through these. Block, block, block. That's what I know. It's like, shadow ban is not going to do me any favors right now. I freaking hate Instagram. I'm just going to go on the record and say I hate Instagram. It drives me bonkers.
I haven't touched the Instagram yet.
Oh, girl.
Get on Instagram. I'm like, Twitter's fine.
And I did Twitter for the longest time. It's where I started because it's friendly. It's porn friendly, so it makes it easier. But when I got into Insta, and I had Insta before with my mainstream modeling, which is fine, but even then, like, they would block things, and I'm like, I'm not even showing nothing. Are you kidding me? But it's like the hashtags, and you have to figure out which ones have been, blocked, and which ones you're not allowed to use, and which ones have been, like, I'm like, for crying out loud, man, like, the stupidest things are banned from hashtags, and one of the ones that killed me is curvy or curvy girls. I'm like, of course those things should be banned, right? Like, it's just the dumbest kind of stuff, and they change it all the time. And if it is that you happen to have them in any of your pictures, they ban you. They block you from everything. They shadow ban you. Or if they don't like you for whatever reason, they shadow ban you. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And they delete your account.
People complain about your stuff too.
Just delete the account.
Facebook
there was one girl.
Copy of Sam.
Well, there was one girl. She doesn't even do adult content. A lot of her stuff is boudoir and everything else. She's actually a co-owner of a Kirby's magazine, and they deleted her account, and she had 700,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
And deleted her account because, and I'm like, for what?
That was on Twitter, or that was on
Instagram.
Ooh.
On Instagram, 724 or 25,000 followers or something, and they deleted, and she doesn't even, she's got an incredibly curvy figure, she's beautiful. She shows, lingerie pictures and things like that, but nothing that was, like, wrong by any stretch. And then I turn around and I'm like, Kim Kardashian, you be walking around here butt naked, and that's okay on Instagram.
Right.
There's so many other things that I see that I'm like, that is so wrong. London Andrews, who's another plus-size model, they deleted her account on several occasions. Aston Martin, they deleted her account.
I heard about that one.
I'm like, come on, guys. Like, why? So I'm very careful now on it because I don't want to be deleted, but still, I'm shadow banned every other freaking month. So whatever.
Someone recently told me of, I think it might called Twitter, maybe. There's one that's like a sexy Twitter type thing.
Ooh.
Ew.
And
I don't know about this.
We need to get the show on there.
Some research.
We need to get some spunk lube there.
The person who told me about it is a female escort, and she's like, oh yeah, she's like, it's way friendly. She goes, because it's sex friendly. Like, that's what it was set up for. And I'm like, really? But again, to me and my busy life,
what the heck would it be called? No.
I'm gonna look
Wait,
it up.
there's another one too. Oh, no.
Look up. I'm trying to call. I think it was called Twitter. Like Twitter, but with like an S in front of it. Well, I don't know.
It was research.
Look, we'll all have to research it, or you'll have to find out, and then we'll have to come back on the show again and talk about it, because I'm kind of like curious.
Experience on this new.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
And if you do Anna, make it to AVN, let me know. Send me a DM so then we can meet up and say hi in person when we're there. So they know it's super cool. That's the one thing I love about AVN is people who I follow on Twitter or on Instagram or whatever, and I get to actually physically meet them in person. It just makes it so different. You're like, oh hey, that's you. This is me. That's so cool. I don't know. It brings a totally different element to it, right? And then you go back on their page after you meet them, and you're like, yeah, like it's different. It's more of a personal touch. I love it. Kelly, you and I still have to meet in person, girl. God, it's been forever.
I know.
But I think that's what I love about AVN is just that social aspect and meeting people that you respect and admire and follow, and it's nice to be able to tell them that too when you see them in person. You're like, hey, you know, I really enjoy your page or your site or your, you know, whatever. It's neat. It's neat.
It's neat.
If you make it there, let me know you're coming.
I will.
My ticket's already booked. My ticket's already booked. I booked them like a month ago, so I'm there for 10 days. So
10? Like 10?
10 days, yeah. Yeah,
I thought you were only going to be there for 4.
Well, I'm shooting while I'm there, right? So that's the thing. Being in Canada, it's hard. I don't have anywhere to shoot here. So, and I don't have anyone to shoot for me. So I go down to Vegas to do my shoots. So, you know, I'll be going down at the beginning of December and getting some done, and then going back down again in January for ABN. And it's great because then everybody's in town, too. So all the people that, you know, maybe are in New York or something that I'm not going to get a chance to shoot with are going to be there. So,
okay.
Yeah. Or people, you know, in sunny Florida, all the way over there.
Sunny Florida, like we're in another continent.
Right, she's all sunny Florida. You know how she had to say sunny Florida. Not like, you know, Florida, she had to say.
You don't want to hear about the beautiful sunset I saw the other night with the dolphins?
No,
with dolphins, Alexa, with dolphins.
No. Let's talk about the gators that come and eat people in the park. Stuff like that.
Those gators.
I love gators.
Everglades.
I don't know. I'm trying to find something, you know. I went to Florida a couple times when I shot for Flipper Pass, and it was amazing. I mean, the weather was incredible, and I'm just like, yeah. He's like, yeah, well, we'll book your ticket home. I'm like, keep me there an extra day. I need some pool time. I need some sun. You don't get it. I'm lacking vitamin D. You know, I need some sun.
I've talked to Flipper Pass, but I am not quite plumpy enough for them yet. Maybe I should just gain 50 pounds just so I can.
Well, you shop for Scores, so I mean, Scores is a huge company to shoot for. So, you know, and I would stick to that because you know it's harder to get into Scores than it is to get into Flipper Pass. So, you know that's huge kudos to you on that one.
I had a great experience with Score.
I've been wanting to shoot with Score since I very first started. That's actually what made me start in the industry, because I wanted to shoot for them. But unfortunately, I'm not the right fit for them, so I don't get to shoot with them. But I got to shoot for Flipper Pass. So if my boobs maybe were a little bit bigger, you know, I could shoot for Score. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that maybe if I lose a few pounds or something, that they're going to call me up. But I haven't done it yet, so we're working on them. We'll keep working on them. But I've heard nothing but great things.
When you go to Vegas, have you ever shot with a group called Mom POV?
No.
So they shoot out of Vegas as well, and we shot. Well, I say we. My husband goes with me everywhere, but we went and shot.
That's wild too. He supports you. That's nice.
Yeah, he is my photographer. He is my videographer, and then we have gotten into. We together shoot for a European company.
Oh, wow.
So nice.
Yeah. So we all older. They prefer the older, mature women, and
really,
the freakier the better. Yeah.
Sweet.
Wow.
I love that. So is this called Mom? Is it Mom or Mob?
Mom, like a mother. MOM. Mom. POV. Yep.
Wow.
Send me a message on Twitter. I'll send you the contact information for that.
Yeah.
So
see, for me, I try to stay away. Probably is why I don't know. It's just my own quirk. I try to stay away from anything that's got to do with mom. Anything. If somebody sends me a message and says anything to do with mom or mama or anything, it's blocked immediately.
It's so. All right, well, never mind. So don't message me.
Well, you know, it's not. You know, I mean, it's one of my things, and everyone's like, Alexa, you got to get into this. You know, maybe you should start doing some of the taboo stuff. I'm like, I am all for the taboo stuff, not a problem. And do not. I mean, I'm even okay the whole, you know, people calling me a MILF thing. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that, but I do know I not.
That's
can't
what
cross
Mom POV is. That's what Mom POV is. Mom POV is all about MILF. Is all about being a MILF. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't mind being milked as long as you're not making it out like I'm blowing my son or my stepson. Nope. Like, as long as it doesn't involve that, I am no good with it.
Yeah, that's
not that at all.
Yeah, I think I would draw that.
Their mom, because they cater. Mom POV is also another one that caters to the older. I say older, but they. You need to be a mom to be on the site.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I
definitely said that. Yeah, I qualify for that.
I qualify for the MILF and the GILF.
Yeah, see, I'm still kind of in that MILF, and I mean, I can't hide the fact that if I have children, there's evidence on my body that proves it, right? And I don't have a problem with that. My big thing is everyone's like, oh, well, you do the whole stepmom thing. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it. Don't even go there, not going to do it. And I have guys that are like, young guys that are like, you know, if that's one of the things that I get every once in a while is the mommy fetishes and stuff, and I'm like, sorry guys, can't help you. They're like, can you not just like,
mommy? Or they just call you mommy, and you're like,
yeah, they call me mom or mama or something. I'm like, no, it doesn't work for me. I'm like, no, not gonna.
Yeah, that's not even.
I don't want to.
No.
Here's the thing, Kelly. Here's the thing. It is a huge.
Oh, I can imagine it being a huge fetish, but somebody calling me mommy, like, nah, that kills anything for me.
Yeah.
That's just like thinking of my kids or like, no.
Yep, but some guys like to be called daddy, but it's weird when is it different?
I think it's different. It's sexy when you call somebody daddy, but you can't be calling every man daddy. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, daddy has
but I used to even have a problem with calling the whole daddy thing, and now it depends on who it's with. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's only one person. There's only one person right now that I will call that, and it's a different context, right? But that's only the only person. Other than that, if somebody says, "Will call me daddy," I'm like, first of all, you haven't earned that from me, and secondly, it doesn't fit this. You know, if it fits it and it gets sexy and it turns me on, then yeah, I'll do it. But if it's
it's not fitting it, right?
It's a different context to me. I don't know why it's just different.
Females that do it, I give them credit because they got that. I mean, go do your thing. Like I don't have no judgment on it. It's just something
I don't have no judgment on it. I just don't do it. I just don't do it. But I'll definitely check out that mom POV thing because that sounds kind of. I love POV. I think it's hot.
Yeah, it's just a single guy that shoots point of view.
Yeah.
With it, and they put you up in in my case, and he said this is what they typically do for other people. They put you up in a hotel one night. It's always on the strip, and then the next day they put you in a different hotel because they want a different background. So they do 2 shoots with you, and it's good pay. So yeah.
Right.
And by the way, the website that I reached out, it is switter.at. So
Switter.at.
Yep,
Switter.
S as in Sam, WITTER .A as in Adam, T as in Thomas. Twitter.at. No,
all right.
Pull it up.
If I forget that, I'll be DMing you and going, hey Hannah, what was that one again? Twitter.at. Got it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check that out when we get off the phone. We're all gonna be doing that when we get off the phone.
We'll all be joining Twitter.at.
I don't know about y'all, no?
Oh, hey, touche. I like that much better. I think Anna's got a right idea. Is that I'll probably go back to watching my Netflix by myself and have a cup of tea and just chill on a Friday night. Because up here in Canada.
Oh my God! It's really a sex work friendly social site. I just looked it up.
Yeah, sex work
it says welcome to Twitter, a sex work friendly social space. In light of whatever, and the recent shadow banning. There you go, Alexa.
See?
Recent shadow our accounts. We've decided to take social into our own hands. This is an open and free community for sex workers. Please read the following and, the code of conduct and all that. And it says, check out our Twitter listings. Check out our popular tools. Donate to Twitter, new escort platform. Oh, my God. And there's only, 172,000 people that already use it. And, 4,567,000 people that have put up statuses. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, you need avenues, though, right? And that's the thing. When they start taking away back pages and Craigslist and things like that, there's avenues that need to be used. And the one thing that I did find, you know, yes, and there needs to be a way for sex workers to communicate.
But I can't get on there.
And this is amazing. What's that?
I can't get on there. I wonder if they'd let me go on as the radio host.
I don't know.
It's for the industry.
Yeah, well, you are musically born.
I'm going to have to check it out and see what happens. That's all.
Well, thank you for giving us that information, Anna. That's awesome, because I'm definitely checking that out myself. Yeah, that's great. See, I learned something new tonight. I learned more about you. I got a new place to go and hang out in social media. You know, I'm happy now.
It was a day of learning.
When I'm stuck up here in the cold in front of my fireplace, I need to do something. No sunshine in here.
Look, you have the ice hotels, okay? I've been wanting to go to one of those for years.
I don't. That's on the other side of the damn country. I don't have those here. I have rain here.
Well, maybe
no ice on the other side of the country. That they can keep it. I have the rain. You know, we don't.
No, I don't want the rain. I'd rather have ice than rain.
Yeah, no, not try driving in ice. And you much rather drive in rain. Trust me. Yeah, no.
Well, I want to go to the ice hotels.
Well, that's over on the other side of the country.
Well, I guess that'll be like on the bucket list, you know?
I just gotta get back to Florida because it's warm there. I'm going back to take it to December.
You come back to this way and you let me know.
I'll let you know. I'll be
and see that, and then that's not far from me either, Alexa, so I could always go to Florida.
See?
That's closer to me than Vegas.
I know. But that's what I love about Vegas for me. It's a quick 2.5-hour flight and I'm down in Vegas. And so it's really easy for me to get down there, which I love. And then I have people that I, enjoy shooting with and stuff down there, and it's Vegas. I mean, who doesn't love Vegas?
Right.
I love Vegas. So that's kind of my little puddle jump, and I'll be doing that in December, and then again January, and probably again in March, and again, I usually go every couple of months now, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, again, because I need to keep my site updated and things, right? So I want to get down there and keep shooting and keep fans happy, and that's what happens, right? I know you got to just keep this thing going all the time. The more you think you do, the more they want from you. So,
oh wow,
which is good. So.
All right, so Anna, before I let you go, right? The question I should have asked ages ago was, tell me about this site that you were telling me about, and I kind of went to it and checked it out and whatnot. I noticed it was a bunch of girls. You said it was the oldest amateur site, right?
Ah, the site that I'm on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about
it. So it's Southern Charms. So that's where I got started way back when, and then that's where I kind of reinvented myself. And if you looked at the site, there's women of all shapes and sizes and kinds there. Yeah. And it's a membership site, so you put up photos and videos. The membership, if someone wants to join your site, they join your site for, I believe it's $14.95 for the month, and they can buy a 3-month for $30, and I think a 6-month for $50. So they save money if they join for longer. And then they get access to all of your photos only. If they want to watch a video, if you're a what we call a charm that wants to put up videos, then the videos are extra, so they can go and see your videos. And the site is kind of, they give you like a template site that's like basic. So you don't get to customize a whole lot. My site's been customized a little bit. I had someone do my background and do a couple different things, but the sites are, for the most part, the same. That you can find some of the girls that have been on there, they know that they can change it. Know a little bit about HTML stuff. They've changed it up a little bit, but it's pretty much just mostly photos and people joining your site, and then you get a cut. Standard is 50%, and then you can do things to earn extra So you can earn up to 70% of the memberships and videos come back to you. And of course, people can tip you, and then it's a 75% cut, I think, for people that tip you.
Oh, wow.
75% of that. Yeah, so
Sweet.
Just another avenue.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like, but the more avenues you put yourself on, it's good. Just like music, the same thing. You know, I'll put music in the strangest places when I'm promoting for someone. You know, because you're the artist I'm working for. You know what I mean? So of course I want you everywhere. And I mean, that's what we do in music too. I mean, it's whatever avenues that gives you some type of outlet. So that's pretty quiet. That's wild.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I'll have to check that one out too. We're looking into that one. I gotta look into everything. You know?
And so
I got nothing but time now.
all right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up because we kept you a long time. I'm sorry. And
it's all right.
And if you want to tell everybody where they can follow you at.
They can follow me at theanamore.com. On Twitter, it is AnamoreSC.
That's why I thought you were from South Carolina.
But SC is for Southern Charms. That's where I got started with Southern Charms.
Gotcha.
So the Anamore SC is for Anamore Southern Charms.
Ah.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Good. She's a Southern Charmer. Gotcha.
Only ever driven through the Carolinas.
You don't want to stay, trust me. You don't want to
Well,
stay.
that's up further than me. I've never even been. So,
Yeah.
well, it's a pleasure talking to you for sure. And definitely keep in touch. And let me know if you're going to make it out to AVN, and hopefully we can meet there if you do.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so
all
much.
right, and we'll keep in touch. And y'all have a great weekend, y'all.
You too.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, Cal.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye, lady.
Bye. Alright, y'all, so we kept you like a little bit over an hour, but sorry. It was just a good interview, and I actually got a lot out of that interview because, like, I knew there was some weird fetishes out there, but not like, some of the ones we were talking about was kind of like, wow, and there's certain things that you allow and certain things you want. I mean, everybody has their own, avenue that they take. But I thought that was very informative, and I learned a new site, and, I can attack that and see if I can get some more interviews because, I love it. And, y'all make sure you join us next Friday night. I forgot our guest, and I don't have my calendar beside me, so y'all see the advertisement and all